Hi guys, good evening. I hope you are well. I hope you are keeping safe. Welcome to another episode of Tuesday Rants with Ochuko. So, for those of you who don't know, my name is Ochuko and I host a session on Instagram, normally on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Today I'm on time. Hey, I hope you guys have had a good week. Just getting the best lighting. So I'm trying this new thing where I film from my room, just to get a more relaxed vibe, more relaxed atmosphere, a little bit more cozy. Um so yeah, if you're new here, I talk about anything and everything, okay? Usually I'm talking about dating and Christian dating, online dating. I started talking about this during the last lockdown. Um, and I'm a Christian, so I tend to talk about God a lot. Okay, so most of the things I do end up talking about is, just general things, an intersection between Christianity and life, okay? Today, I'm coming to you with an interesting video, okay? So I'm going to do a review of Salt, the dating app. So I got a message from somebody a couple of weeks ago saying, asking me about some of the dating apps that I've recommended before. And then I also got it was requested for me to do a review on the app. So I thought, it's a good opportunity. I'm going to do the review, and maybe later on I can do the other apps like Christian Connection and Christian Mingle. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into it. So for those of you who don't know, obviously I'm single. This is why we're on a dating app. And can I just say, first and foremost, I'm going to be reviewing the app, so how it works. I'm not going to be reviewing the people. I might talk about some of my escapades on the app, okay? So I might share some experiences that I've had, but can we just bear in mind that we're mostly talking about how to use the app, okay? So I joined Salt, the dating app, back in 2018. Okay, they did like a beta version of it where it was completely free, and you were just testing it out to see how it worked, and there wasn't a lot of people on it, so that was like the number one thing that wasn't quite, but now they've launched it. I don't know what year it finally went, like hey. So there's loads more people on there, so that's a positive. Okay, so I'm going to start with the things that I've used Clubhouse, but I couldn't get the hang of it. I think I'm too old and I didn't have time for it. So but yeah, I haven't used it much. So back to Salt. One of the things, I'm going to start with things I like about Salt, okay? So one of the things I really like about the app is, or let me start with the reason why I joined the app, okay? It just came across like a real genuine Christian app, okay? So it felt to me like, I just thought in my head, people that are going to be on here are going to be genuine Christians, okay? And I had been on Bumble before, but with Bumble you have to sort of filter. Bumble and Hinge, you have to sort of filter off, if you don't want Christians, if you want it as a preference. But with Salt, I feel like generally it attracts, Christians, like genuine Christians, right? This is my thought process. That's why I joined the app, okay? And obviously I want to date somebody that is a Christian, get married to somebody that's a Christian. The Bible says don't be unequally yoked. So basically don't yoke yourself to people who necessarily don't believe the same things that you do in terms of something like a marriage covenant, right? It's a big connection. So that was very important to me. That's why I joined the app. And true to form, when scrolling and looking at people's profiles, you do get the sense that this person is a deep Christian, or starter Christian. Maybe they've just given their life to God in the past couple of years and they're passionate, or they're sort of searching. The reason for that, I believe, is sort of the questions that Salt sort of asks, and people can obviously go into depth or not. So questions like, how important is your faith to you? Who are your faith heroes? What's your favorite retro worship track? So those little things like that tend to, you can sort of tell if, you know, from what people write down, if they're really a Christian or if this is just something they're doing. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why I joined in, because I wanted to meet like genuine Christians on there. Okay, now what's really cool is straight away people can sort of choose their denomination. So for those of you who don't know what denomination is, it's just like, I don't want to use the word sect. It's like a different maybe expression of the church. So you have Catholics, you have Church of England, and some people classify themselves as charismatic or Pentecostal and things like that. So you can see straight away where people are. Yes, Jen, I am back on the dating app. Guys, being single out here is craziness. We go on, we go off, we go on, we go off. Okay, so I went through a season of, oh my god, I am tired, I am so tired, and so I logged off. I was like, I'm not doing it anymore. But then, you know, I logged back on because I didn't delete my profile. I have also deleted my profile in time past because it does get it does get frustrating, you know, feeling like you haven't met somebody for a long time, right? It feels really frustrating. So back to salt. So I'm just gonna start by showing you guys my profile, what it looks like. Let's see. So here is me in all my glorious beauty. You can sort of see my cover photo, and then I don't know if you can see at the bottom, it says my name, and there's like a little tagline there, and it says in love with Jesus. So I put a lot of effort into this because I wanted like a really nice picture on there to show. And then when you're setting up your profile, you get the option, you can choose your preferences, right? So you can narrow down your age. So this is the age that I've selected. I've selected between 29 and 36. About how it's going, I'll give you the lowdown in a minute. So I've selected the ages between 29 and 36. I've made my story visible, and then I've clicked that, you know, I'm interested in speed dating. However, I've switched off the notifications because, you know, I don't want to be getting notifications. I'm not that desperate. And then you can sort of like, you know, what's the word? You can decide how far out you want to go. I think my guide for that was London. I think the farthest I'm willing to go for a date is London. And I literally searched it out. How far is London away from where I am? And that's what I used. I have increased my range from time to time just because, you know, sometimes when we get lonely and we think about how dry the testosterone environment is where I am, which is West Yorkshire, I tried to branch out a little bit. All right, let's show you another picture. So here's the questions I was telling you guys about earlier. So what does your faith mean to you? And here's my little spiel. Oh, a lot. I love people. I love God. I love his heart for me. What are you passionate about? I talked a little bit about that. And I mean, you don't need to go into the godly questions if you don't want. There's like other questions like, what do you like about where you grew up and things like that. So this one I like is, how do you connect with God? And I've written down through worship, through word, through meditation. So when you go on people's profile, you get to see that. And you can also link your Instagram page as well. So I've linked mine there, and people can sort of have a look and see what it looks like. And obviously you can add pictures, you know, you can add pictures. Here's me again, looking fly. Now, enough about me. Let's show you another sort of interesting thing about salt, okay? Which is quite, I don't know, it depends on you, it depends on how you take it. Before that, so every sort of profile, you're going to see this little thing here, okay? This is my profile here. it'll show you what obviously the person has chosen to show. So here shows that I have no kids, shows that I'm single. Some people have chosen to show if they're divorced, if they're separated, it all comes up as well. Pentecostal, community, home church, and charismatic. Then I've put my height. I've also put if I drink and if I smoke. So I've put drinking for socially, because you go out on a girls' night, have one drink. So I've put socially, and the other box there I've put no, I don't smoke. So when you go on the app straight away, you can see all these things and you can say, oh, I'm not sure I really like that. You can skip. And I think people on there are genuine. No one's trying to catch anybody out. So you can skip straight away. The little pens are the things you can use to edit your profile. When you click on it, you can edit your story, as it's called. I like it. It's like a little, it's more in depth. It's not like just your profile, your story. You're telling people about yourself. So that's kind of cool. So here's the other thing I wanted to show you, okay? So on Salt, you get a specific number of swipes every day, depending if you're a premium user or if you are a... So here, I have paid for premium before, but currently I'm not premium, so you can upgrade, and it's not that expensive. I think it's about £15 a month or so. I think it's about £15. I can't quite remember. Yeah, I think it's £7 a week if you want, and it's £15 a month if you want to subscribe, or you can pay for like 6 months. So I have paid for premium, and then you get more swipes, or you get more profiles to have a look at if you've paid for premium or not, right? So currently I'm not premium, so I have a limited number, and I think it's about 10, okay? But if you match with a person, you can chat with them. Okay, so here's the thing that comes up when you've swiped your 10 people, when you swiped your 10, or however many, I think it's about 10 people you get to swipe a day. This little page break comes up, and every day is a different Christian phrase, okay? And this one says a different scripture. So this one says, to live is Christ and to die is gain. And sometimes they have like lovely artwork between it. And to be honest, it can get frustrating, especially if it's 10 o'clock in the night, you're in bed and you're thinking, who's that person I'm going to match with today? And then boom, you hit this page and you're like, oh, okay. But I think it's good. I think having this little page break sort of removes yourself from that mindlessness of just, because I think we make those decisions very quickly in deciding, whether this person is worthy of being in my life or not. So this sort of gives you a pause. Now what's cool is, this is cool, I haven't seen it in any other app, by the way, okay? So at the bottom of that, it tells you, discover more people's stories tomorrow. Again, that phrasing about stories is not necessarily about profiles. Trying to phrase this idea that people are more than, just the words on the page and their pictures, right? Now at the bottom, there's a little button there where you can click to view people that you skipped, okay? You can view people that you've skipped. I think that's quite cool. I don't think I've ever seen an app that does that. I think Bumble, you've got to pay to have that feature. And I think on Hinge, you have 3 or 1 back, and then after that you have to pay a little bit extra for that. So I thought that was quite cool. So here's what it comes up as. Here's the people that I've skipped. Obviously I'm not going to show you their face. And it shows you the little tagline, and you can scroll and you can tap on it again and look at their stories and think, okay, maybe there's something I've missed here, and look into it a little bit more in depth. I thought that was cool. Let's see, what else can I show you on? All right, so this is someone's page. Okay, so personally, I don't think I can date a Catholic. I think they're great people. I just think we have fundamentally core beliefs that might be too different, and it's a case of we might be able to get along, but I don't know how we're gonna raise the kids. Do you know what I mean? If we do get married, so that's like one reason why. And it's so sad because sometimes I think, have I just put that wall up? You know, should I go behind that wall and see? To be honest, I've never tried it because I've seen a couple of people on there, and I think, oh, their profiles are so cool. I would really love to be this person's friend, but then I think, oh, they're Catholic, so maybe I could just sort of add them to be friends. Anyway, here's one thing I wanted to show you. There's a little button at the bottom where it's like a chat bubble. Okay, it's like any other app. There's a heart, you can click it if you like it, or you can go back. There's a little back button where it says, you know, no, you don't want this person. Right, so there's a little chat bubble there, and you can click on that chat bubble, and you know, you get 10 of them. I think it's a month you get 10 of them, and then if you're premium, I think it's unlimited. So this chat bubble, you can just sort of introduce yourself and be like, hey, hi, or you get one new chat bubble every day. I think that's what it is. You can just say, hey, hi, my name is Achuko, I'm a Christian, I'm charismatic, I see you like Hillsong too. I think, you know, have you been to David's tent? I think there's a lot we can talk about, you know, and obviously they can respond to it. I used to use it a lot, you know, but then again, with online dating, right, you know, you never can tell, okay? So, I think that's it. Those are the sort of things that I kind of like with Salt, okay? I think I've shared all the pictures that I can safely share without crossing the line. The things I maybe not quite like, which I've seen in other apps, is so you can, on, let's say an app like Christian Connection, I think it is, you can see how long ago the person's been online, right? So if they've been online for 1 day or 2 days or 3 days, right? I think you can see, and I think that helps because with dating apps, for example, my story could be visible, but I might not be on the app I might not have gone on it for about a month or so, right? And that becomes like difficult if, for example, you you know, you send somebody a message that you fancy and they haven't replied. You might be feeling a little bit rejected, not knowing that maybe this person hasn't come online for like 2 months, right? So I think that's a little bit of a disadvantage. But then again, this is actually a caution to us that are on these dating apps. Don't get too hung up if somebody doesn't reply, okay? One of two things: they're not interested in you, move on, okay? Or genuinely, they haven't really seen the message, okay? Now, with Salt, if you are a premium member, you get to see people who've liked your profile. So you can go and you can see all the people who've liked your profile. You can chat to them or send them a message. Obviously, they might reply, they might not reply, you know, that kind of thing. But yeah, so I think, you know, it'd be really cool to see if somebody has been online for a month or, you know, not a month. Now, in as much as it's good for us to have a limited number of stories, as they call it, for us to view, I think it makes the whole process sort of slower. So I don't think there's not a lot of people on Salt. The reason why I say this is they sort of, you know, after a while you see the same faces pop up again and again, okay? One of two things I believe is because there's a limited number of people who know about the app, so there's not a lot of people on the app. But also I think I've got an email from somebody before from the team who said the reason why they do this is so that people have the opportunity to revisit their choices. I guess that's a good thing, but then again, you know, if you've skipped that person 3 times before, chances are you didn't want to, you know, you're not necessarily attracted to them, or, you know, there was nothing in their profile that pulled you towards them, okay? So as a result, I would say, you know, having that page break there is not necessarily the best, because you want the whole thing with this, you want to see as many people as possible, because you want to open up your pool, you want to open up your choices. That's why we went online dating. Okay, we want as many people as possible for them to see us and for us to be seen by them, right? So if you're limiting that to 10 people a day, I think, you know, that's a disadvantage compared to the other dating apps. But that's my personal opinion. Someone else could have a different opinion. But yeah, I think I've quite enjoyed it. I think it's very easy to use. It's very less complicated, I think, compared to most of the apps. And there's no ads. So a lot of apps have like things flashing and popping in your face. Super swipe now. Add 50 buzzing points now to be seen and be more popular on the app. Increase your chances of being noticed. You know, all those things tire me out, right? So those of you who have been online dating, you know the apps that have these things, right? You know the apps that have a lot of this buzz, distractions. So Salt doesn't have any of that, okay? If you do sign up for the dating event, they will send you notifications. I think that's cool. They do a lot of like speed dating events. I've been to 3 of them. I've seen the same people twice, and in my head I'm thinking, guys, why are we still single? And these dating events are easily 5 months apart, and I'm like, oh, there's something we're not doing right. You know what it is with online dating? I think we have the same sort of fears as we do in real life, you know, not just in apps. So when we like somebody, it's difficult for us to come out and put ourselves out there, you know. So I know that sometimes I'll match with somebody and I won't speak to them for like 2 days. I'm waiting for them to make the first move, and if after 3 days they haven't made the first move, I unmatch, because I'm like, yo, you're not that interested in me. Or if you've sent a message and I've sent you a message and you haven't replied after 3 days or 2 days or whatever, I just send you a polite message and say, you know what, you're not that interested. And it is a lot of risk, you know, putting yourself out there. Like, you know, the fear of rejection, it's real. The fear of people, you know, I think our egos, we want to be liked, we want to be admired, and you know, when that doesn't come across, we could get hurt, you know. So yeah, it's quite interesting. I have met people on here who have become friends, so people on Salt who've become really good friends, and we just sort of didn't click in that way. And you know, we don't know why. Just like in real life, when you meet people and they're just friends, they're not necessarily turning out into be like romantic partners. I think that's okay. So my one advice to you, if you're using Salt or any other dating app, you need to be real, you know, bring yourself to the plate. Don't tolerate rubbish, you know, don't do it. You're not going to tolerate it in real life. Don't tolerate it on a dating app. If someone is being weird, report their profile or match. And then put yourself forward, like, you know, on your dating profile, make a bit of an effort, you know. Put nice pictures up there, say little quirky things, you know. Please don't wear sunshades in your profile picture. This is for the guys. I've not seen girls' profiles, obviously, but I don't know if they do it. But guys, come on, please stop wearing sunshades. We need to be able to look into your eyes and make a connection, you know. And don't be too weird, you know, like have conversations. It doesn't necessarily all have to be like God-centered. It could be, should be, so that you can suss out, you know, what you want from a life partner. If they're, you know, the level of if they've got a relationship with God, a genuine relationship with God, you know. So have those conversations, right? But keep it chill, keep it zen. You're not necessarily going to find your husband on the first swipe. Okay, let's be real. Let's be real. You're not gonna find your husband on the first swipe. And in terms of etiquette, you know, can we just be a little bit polite, right? So if you've been chatting to somebody for a couple of days, and you feel the connections there, don't just ghost them. Leave a polite message. I know that when someone has left a polite message for me, I've appreciated that. Rather than just ghosting me. I'm like, oh, okay. They weren't feeling me. I guess I weren't feeling them as well. But do you know what I mean? Just leave a polite message. Don't just go disappearing into thin air. I don't think that's fair. Although I have ghosted some people before, but only maybe if we haven't spoken for about 3 days. I just feel, oh, this person doesn't necessarily miss me or not, And I think we need to be able to have mature conversations with people. Like, I remember this one person that I was talking to, and it was just a little bit weird, and I just had to confront them and be like, look, I feel like you're getting, you just want a friendship. Just let me know if it's just friendship you're all about. And they're like, oh yeah, they've been chatting to somebody, blah, 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 blah. I was like, all right, cool. Wishing you all the best. Hope you find the one. Hope you find the love of your life. Take care. Bye. Anyway, so that's my little review on Salt. If you feel like you would like for me to do another review of another app, you can send me a DM. I hope you found this useful. Feel free to share it with somebody who might find it useful. And I think there was a question earlier saying, how is it going now? To be honest, on my profile, I've sort of put out there that have I put it on Salt? I'm not sure I've put it on Salt. I think I've put it on Christian Connection. I'm on 2. Woo. Increasing my chances. Woo. I think, the other thing I was going to say, you do get some sort of free. So as I said before, if you're not a premium member, you can still talk to like 10 people or so. You can swipe 10 people. Whereas on Christian Connection, if you're not a premium member, you can't chat to anybody. You have to pay £23. And I guess it's kind of okay. Like, if someone invests in that, that's also cool. But I guess the advantage, if you're a student and you don't have £23 to pay, Salt is where you want to be. But yeah, I've lost my train of thought here. But yeah, if you feel like you want me to do a review of a similar product, I can do it because I've been on quite a few and I've actually done some reviews before. But yeah, if you feel like somebody will find this useful, please drop some comments, share, and can you please drop in the comment section, give some advice to people like us who are still single and on the dating app, especially if you found love on a dating app. I know some people who found love on a dating app. I know a couple who's married. I know a couple who's like seriously, almost sort of getting engaged, that kind of thing. So, all right, good luck to you until next week. I've really enjoyed the session. Take care. Bye. Leave some comments. What do we do as singles who are dating? Lovely to speak to you again.